Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa and this video will discuss my journey into the HR field. Despite having no prior experience, being young and black, and not holding a degree. I'll share with you how I entered the industry and avoided starting at the bottom. I hope to provide some type of insights and inspirations for others that are looking to enter into the industry under the same circumstances. Stay tuned. Okay, so just to give you guys a little bit of background about me, I started working in the insurance industry. I started off as a customer service representative, then moved into a sales representative and worked my way all the way up to district manager. Now, while the money was good and I was comfortable with where I was at and I was working my way up, I felt as if I needed a change. I needed more. So I started thinking about ways that I can make that change and make that move without impacting my financial stability. Okay, so I started off by sharing my concerns with people that I trusted deeply. And these conversations weren't just casual conversations. They were deep conversations with people whose opinion I valued. Those people who I deemed to be successful in their careers, and also those people who I felt were happy in their decision. And by diving into their perspectives and their decisions, I thought that I could gain some insights on how I can move forward in my career. Okay, so the person that actually brought the idea to me, I knew them for a very long time. They knew me. So obviously I trusted their input. They're the ones who said, I know someone in HR and I think this will be a good fit for you. And I also believe that it was an excellent idea. So first and foremost, this career would allow me to be involved in different dynamics of people's lives, well, their work lives. And it would also allow me an opportunity to lend support when needed, aka advice. Also, being a part of the decision-making process is very rewarding for me. Being able to contribute my ideas and my perspectives is something that I really valued in my career. Also, the earning potential in this career was very appealing to me. To be honest, that was another reason why I was looking to move. Although I was comfortable with the finances and the salary that I had, I did not want to live my life comfortably. I wanted more. So the earning ability was another reason why I decided to move into that field. Moving into this field not only offered me the ability to earn more, but I thought that it would also contribute to my professional growth and development, which is very important. That will be a whole separate video, but that's very important in your career. I felt that this career offered me a great blend of influence, opportunity, and development, which is something that I value. Okay, so how do I get in this great career? I don't have a degree. I have been in management to a certain extent, of course, with me being a district manager. But how do I get into this career? And that goes into the next person that I spoke with. This person is a nursing director, makes, well, I'm not going to say how much she makes, but she makes bank. And so I started talking to her. I was like, I want to get into the HR industry, but I have no idea how to. And she was a very key person who I credit to my career. She said, Vanessa, look at your transferable skills. Look what you're already doing. You're already doing the job. And I'm like, I am already doing it. I am hiring people. I am terminating people. I am taking care of the disciplinary actions that need to be taken care of. I am managing them. I'm doing all of that. You are 100% right. But even though I was already doing those things, most HR positions required a degree, especially if you didn't want to start at the bottom. There's levels to HR, and I just felt like I was too old. Even though I was really young, in my mind I was old. I had 2 children that I needed to care of. I didn't want to start at the bottom. Now, generally that's how it works. Is you start at the bottom and you work your way up. But I'm not a general type of person. So I said, let me get back in school. right? That's the first thing. I need my degree in order to make the money that I need to make. So let me get back in school. Now, to get back in school and earn the HR, Human Resource Management degree, it was going to take me a year and a half. I am not a patient person. I did not want to wait a year and a half to get in this career. Once I get something in my mind, I'm ready, I'm done, let's go. And so I'm continuing having these conversations with people, and they were like, just start applying. And I was like, applying? I don't have a degree. And they were like, it doesn't matter. Just start applying. All you need is an interview. That's it. And so I'm looking at these positions. HR associate, I'm making more money than an HR associate. I'm making more money than an HR assistant. I'm making more money than an HR generalist. I'm not going to move into a career making less money than what I'm making now for the possibility of earning more, because I have kids to take care of. I can't do that. And I'm a single mother. It's all on me. So she was like, okay, I understand that completely. Apply for those positions, making the income that you want, and just go with it. Somebody might call you. You'll be surprised. So I'm applying. I get phone calls, but one of them was a recruitment position, which I was like, okay, I recruit my team members here, and I've interviewed them. I know how it works, so I'm fine with that. But it was a minimum wage. It wasn't minimum, but it was a minimum wage, and then commission. No can do. I've been in the sales type of position. It's a lot. You have to grind every day, all day. I wasn't wanting to go back to that. So I denied that position. I got offered another position. I interviewed, got offered a position, but it was for less money, and not doing that either. So finally, the right position came along. I got called in for the interview. It was for a regional human resource manager, and I'm like, they call me, but now I'm nervous because I'm like, regional. Regional means outside of regional means multiple locations outside of the state, possibly. A manager, that means I'm going to be over multiple people in something I really don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. And so I talked to multiple people again. They said, don't worry about it. Think about those transferable skills. Think about what you're doing now. Also put in the work and the time to do your research, so that when you interview and these questions come up, you sound like you know what you're doing. And so I started doing research. I got on YouTube. I watched videos. And to be honest, a lot of the videos didn't give me insight. And that's going to be a whole nother video. So I just started Googling research on how to answer questions, the employment laws, things like that. And I learned a little bit. Now, granted, I am in school for it as well. So I get the interview. It's with an international company that is stationed in France, but they have locations in the U.S. And that's why it was regional. It was going to be, I was going to be over the U.S. locations in multiple states. It was in 4 different states. So I needed to know multiple employment laws for multiple states. Now, the one question during the interview that stumped me was, hey, if something happens in the state of Kentucky, right? You're very familiar with Texas laws, but what if something happens in the state of Kentucky? And how would you go about handling that situation? And I was honest. I was like, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the laws in Kentucky. I'm not familiar with the laws in the other states that I would be over as well. But I am not afraid of research. I'm a good researcher. If I don't know the answer, someone does. And generally, it's easy to Google it. And they accepted that answer. Long story short, I got the job. Due to my transferable skills, I had experience in recruitment, interviewing, posting jobs on Indeed because I already did it. Doing background checks because it's the insurance industry, so we needed like an extensive background check for them. I had experience in payroll. Now, my experience with payroll was very limited. I didn't actually use an HRIS system to do payroll, but what I did was I verified benefits. and bonuses. So I didn't really have experience in payroll, and that was my biggest struggle when I first got, because of course I got the job. So when they asked if I had experience with payroll, again, I was honest. I said I have very little experience with payroll, but I am willing to learn. And they accepted that. Now granted, like I said, that was the thing that I struggled with the most, and we'll get into that as well. And so they asked me, hey, what would you do if you had a manager that wanted to get rid of an employee? What steps would you take? And I have experience with that, i.e. me wanting to fire somebody. And so what I did was I told them, first I would ask them if they have any documentation, because that's always important, because I did deal with TWC claims. Now, I did not respond to the TWC claims, which is Texas Workforce. When someone files unemployment, I personally did not respond to those unemployment claims. My job was to scan them in and email them to my boss. But I'm nosy. So of course I'm reading the document before I scan it in, and I'm doing research. You need documentation. So since I did research, because someone I trusted and opinion I value told me to do the research, I did it. So I knew documentation was very important. So I let them know. Hey, I would ask them what documentation they had. If they don't have any documentation, I would tell them to start documenting. We need a paper trail so that when an unemployment claim comes in, we have a valid reason for termination and we're clear. And so, long story short, I got into the HR field with no experience, being young and Black, which matters to me, in my opinion, because I talked to people who had careers, who I felt like was more experienced than myself, that encouraged me and gave me the right advice. It gave me a deep dive into what was I currently doing and how I could implement that. They told me to go and do research, which I did, which helped me in the interviewing process. Now, granted, I was looking for an HR mentor. I was not able to secure one. I joined Facebook groups, Instagram groups with HR. I looked up HR people on YouTube, watched their content, watched their lives. I did an extensive amount of research. But what I can say is HR is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be hire, fire, done. That's another video, but it is not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to make another video for those who are interested in joining, and you get the real deal, Holyfield, of what it is. But even with that, I don't regret getting into HR. I did get that Regional Human Resource Manager position, which I thought was great because it's a great title, but in reality, that was not a fitting title for that position. It should have been like an HR generalist. But again, we had people in France running it. And my whole thing was, I am going to use this title. I'm going to stay at this job and have it as a learning experience. I'm going to finish school and then I'm going to move on, which I did. So I'm no longer at that position. I'm still in the HR manager position role, but I'm no longer in that position. I used it for what it was meant for me to get that actually on my resume, gain some experience in it, soak up all the knowledge I could, and then get my degree. But all in all, I just use my transferable skills. That's important. So if you're looking to get into this field, look at your jobs and what you were doing, and look at some things that you were doing that could possibly transfer into HR. And if you cannot find any of those things, find another job or ask for additional responsibilities or ask to shadow someone. I do feel like I was lucky. This isn't a story for everyone. I do feel like I was very lucky to get into a regional human resource manager role. Now, I did not make many mistakes. Payroll was my biggest thing because I was not only doing payroll, but I was also doing some accounting tasks. I wanted to be an accountant, but after I realized 1 plus 1 did not equal 3, I was like, it's not for me. This is not for me. So with the payroll, I had to do some accounting tasks. I had to make sure all of the numbers matched up. It was a lot, which I did not enjoy. Luckily, in this role that I'm currently in, I don't have to do payroll. But if you're looking to get into HR, you don't have any experience, you may have different things going against you, I would suggest, like I said, looking into those transferable skills. Also doing your own research, that's very important. Right now, I am currently hiring for an HR assistant because I just have so much on my workload. And the only thing I'm looking for as far as experience is just a little bit. And once you get in your foot in the door, it's up to you to climb the ladder. It's up to you to ask for those additional responsibilities. Ask to learn more. Dip your hands. Help out everybody. That's my suggestion. And like I said, my story is unique. Not everyone is going to have my story, but I am glad that I talked to the people that I talked to. They gave me the encouragement and the confidence that I needed. They also said, hey, you're looking like this. You need to look at the bigger picture. You have the skills that are necessary. Apply for those jobs that you don't qualify for. Because like I said, most of them require you to have a degree. The job as a regional human resource manager required for me to have a degree. I just told them I'm in school and I'll be finished on this date. And they accepted it. Now, is that going to happen? No, I did plenty of resumes. I did plenty of applicants. I didn't do resumes. I did plenty of applications. I had plenty of interviews that I got turned down for that was like, no, you're not right for this position. I had plenty of interviews that I decided, no, I'm not right for this position. And so a lot of closed doors. So a lot of doors are going to close before one opens. If this is truly something that you want to get into, you can make it happen. Now, granted, go back to school. Because if you want to make a certain amount of money, you need that degree to back you up. So if you have to go back to school, go back to school. I did an online schooling and it worked out perfectly for me. But if this is something you genuinely want to do it. Comment below if you have any questions or need some advice. I'm willing to give it to you. I was in the insurance field for 11 years. And I have currently been in HR for 7. So I know a little bit about a little bit. And like I said, I didn't start at the bottom. HR associate, HR generalist. I started as a regional human resource manager. And right now I am just a human resource manager. Regional just meant, like I said, it was in different states, which was a journey within itself. That'll be another video. But good luck to you all. And like I said, comment below if you need any advice, any tips on what websites I used. Honestly, I went through and I printed all of the employment laws, which I don't know why. I printed them all and had them in a binder. But I am willing to give advice to anyone who needs it, and I'll do another video on the reality of HR, because it's not just hiring and firing, it's way more than that. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and you subscribe and you turn on your notification button for more videos. See you in the next one.